أهلا بكم في قناتي SAT Math 800. Today's lesson is about solving quadratic equation. The general form of quadratic equation is y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. There are four main ways to solve the quadratic equation. The first way is factoring. We factor the quadratic equation into two parentheses and we get two solutions from factoring. We already explained factoring in previous video. You can check it out if you missed it. The second way is using the quadratic formula. What is the quadratic formula? It's about this formula. It's an equation. We solve quadratic equation with it. When we solve the quadratic equation of it, before solving, we can check how many solutions are there for the quadratic equation. How can we do that? We use a discriminant. What is a discriminant? The discriminant is a radical under a root. It's b squared minus 4ac. We said about this, we call this the discriminant. And this is the quadratic formula. How to use the discriminant? This is our equation. The coefficient of x squared is 1, so a equal 1. B is the coefficient of x, it's negative 2. C is the absolute value, it's negative 1. And we plug in these in the discriminant. We will have a number. This number shows us a lot. If the discriminant is positive, it's greater than 0, so we have two solutions. How can we have this? This is only show how many solutions are we have. To get the solution, we have to complete using the formula. We will put this number here under root and plug negative b and to a and complete to find the two answers. Here we have another quadratic equation, x squared minus 6x plus 9. We will find a. A is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, c is the absolute value. We will check the discriminant. When we find the discriminant, plug in a, b, c, we will find the discriminant equals 0. When we find the discriminant equals 0, we know that the equation has only one solution. The solution is x equals 3. How we found it? We complete using the formula. So when the discriminant equals 0, we have one solution. The third, if x squared, another quadratic equation, we will find a, b, and c. We will find the discriminant. We find the discriminant is negative. After substitution, the discriminant is negative. So when the discriminant is negative, we have no real solution. So this is very important. If the discriminant is greater than 0, we have two solutions. If the discriminant equals 0, we have one solution. If the discriminant is less than 0, we have no solution. In these two cases, we just check how many solutions are there for the quadratic equation. To find the solution, we have to plug in this to use the whole formula to find the answer, the solution. And here is also, we have to plug in b, a, and c and use the general formula to find the one answer. Here is no real answer. The third way to find to solve the quadratic equation is to completing the square. If we have a equation like x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0, we will get negative 5 in the right hand side, in the other side. We will add 1 for both sides. We didn't affect the equation. We will add 1 here and add 1 here. When we add the left hand side here, it becomes a quadratic, a perfect square. It's a perfect square. This is x squared has the root x, 1 has the root 1, and this is twice, the middle term is twice the first times the second, the third. So this is a complete square or a perfect square. When we add 15 plus 1, so 16 also perfect square because we can get a root for here. This side is squared, this side is squared, we will find the root for each side. When we have the root for this side, it will be x plus 1. When we have the root for 16, it will become negative or positive or negative 4. We will use x plus 1 with 4, and we will use x plus 1 with negative 4. This is a solution, and this is another solution. When you find plus or minus, you have to know that there is two solutions. The first solution comes with using the positive, and another solution comes from using negative. Here is the answer: x equal 3 and x equal negative 5. This is the way of completing the square. We can also use another way by graphing. We can solve the quadratic equation and know how many solutions, or know the solutions from graphing. When we graph a quadratic equation, we have a parabola. When the parabola intercepts the x-axis in 2 points, this is 2 points, so we have two solutions. When the quadratic equation, after we graph it, intercept the x-axis in 1 point, so there is one solution. If the parabola didn't intercept the x-axis, so there is no solution. Now we will talk about solving a system of linear equation and quadratic equation. Here we was talking about solution of a quadratic equation. Two solutions of a quadratic equation. In this part, we will talk about the solution of the whole system. The system consists of one quadratic equation and also one straight line. Linear equation and quadratic equation. Linear equation, we graph it as a parabola. The straight line, we graph it as a straight line, linear equation. The intersect point between the graph, the straight line, and the parabola, these are the point of solution. So we can say that in this case there are two solutions. In other case, the parabola intersects the straight line in only 1 point. This point will be the solution, and in this case there is one solution. Some cases there is no intersection point between the straight line and the parabola. In this case we say that there is no solutions. Solve the system y equal x squared plus 2x minus 3 and the linear equation y equal 2x plus 1. We notice that here is y equal and here is y equal. To find the intersection point, we have to take the 2y and make them equal. So we will write x squared plus 2x minus 3, the quadratic equation, equals 2x plus 1. We will say that the quadratic equation equals the linear equation, and we have to solve and x squared plus 2x minus 3, and we get 2x in the same side and negative 1. We find that x squared equal 4. So we have two solutions. When we get root for x squared and 4, we find that x equal 2 and x equal negative 2. We find now the intersection point, the x coordinate of the 2 points. We didn't find the y coordinate. So we will take x and substitute in any equation. We will take 2 and substitute in y equal 4 plus 1, so we get y equal 5, and x equal -2, we will substitute here, and we find y equal -3. So the first point of intersection is 2 and 5. The second point of intersection is -2 and -3. Here is, we graph the two function, x squared plus 2x minus 3, it makes a parabola, and y equal to x plus 1, it is this straight line. Here we can see that we have two intersection points between the parabola and the straight line. The first one is 2 and 5, as we said, and the second point, the green points, are the intersection point between the parabola and the straight line. They are 2 and 5 order pair, and -2, -2, and -3. This is the solution of the system, the whole system. There is a difference between the solution of the system and the solution for the parabola. The solution of the parabola is the intersection point between the parabola and the x-axis. When we solve the parabola alone, we will say that the quadratic equation, its solution is 1 and 0 and -3 and 0. You have to differentiate between the solution of the system, the two function, and the solution of the quadratic equation. I will say it again. The solution of the system is the intersection point between the straight line and the parabola. The solution of the quadratic equation is the intersect between the parabola and the x-axis. We will see another example. The system of equation is given by y equal x squared plus 2x minus 3 and y equal 5x plus 1. We will equal the two y's. We will say x squared plus 2x -3 equal 5x plus 1, and solve for it. X squared plus 2x, we get all in one side. Then we find that x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. We will factor this quadratic equation to find that x equal 4 and x equal -1. Is x equal 4 and x equal 1 is the intersection point? No. It's the x coordinate of the point. We have to get a point as we done here. We have to get, when we in the previous, in this example, we get x and we didn't get y. We have to get y and get the point of intersection to find the solve, when he say solve the system. Here, he asked for how many solutions does the system have. He didn't ask for the solution. He is asking about the number of the solution. When we find 2x, so we know that there are two solutions, so we choose for C. Here are also, we graph it. The parabola is in red, and there is a straight line drawn in blue. The intersection point between the parabola and the straight line is 4, so 4 here, and we didn't get the y. There is a y, it's equal 21, and x equal -1, and we didn't get the y here. And also, I will insist to say that the parabola, the solution of the quadratic equation is the intersect between the parabola and the x-axis. This example, a system of equation is y equal to x plus 1 and x squared plus y squared equal 30. This quadratic equation is different of another quadratic equation because there is y squared. We didn't see the quadratic equation having y squared. So we will solve it and So what will happen? What are the solution of x, y or to the system? We will take the same steps. We will take y and substitute with this y. Here, x squared plus y, we take this to plug y squared is here, equal 13. We extract this parenthesis and x squared plus 4x plus 1 and make steps to solve it. We couldn't factor this quadratic equation, so we use the formula. We find from the formula that x equal 1.2, and when we find that x equal 1.2, we substitute the number x in this equation to find the y. And when find x equal -2, we plug in x equal -2 in this equation because it's simplest to find y. So the 2 points are 1.2 and 3.4, and the other point is -2 and -3. When we graph these two equations, we find that it's not quadratic equation, it's an equation of a circle. Yes, we have that x squared plus y squared is a circle. We know that. And the straight line, the intersection point between the circle and the straight line are the point -2, -2 and -3, and the other point is 1.2 and 3.4. That's all for today's lesson. Hope you enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.